Good morning, children. First, let us revise the topics what we have learnt in the last class. We have learnt about food groups of a balanced diet. The food items are divided into 5 main groups so that we can select the food items from those groups to have a balanced diet. What are they? First group consists of potatoes, wheat, maize, bread that gives us carbohydrates. And the second group consists of fruits and vegetable group that gives us vitamins, minerals and roughage. And the third group consists of milk and its products which gives us fats, proteins, minerals, etc. And the fourth group consists of meat, fish, eggs, pulses, etc. that gives us proteins to build up our body. And the last group consists of oils, sweets that gives us fats which we should eat very less. We also learnt about the wrong eating habits that cause bad health. What are they? Malnutrition. What is malnutrition? It is a condition faced by a person who does not get proper nutrients from the food. This malnutrition occurs in two forms: undernutrition, overnutrition. What is undernutrition? A condition faced by a person who gets less nutrients from the food than required for the body. Whereas overnutrition is a condition faced by a person who eats too much food or food with excess nutrients. We also learnt about junk food and its harmful effects. What is junk food? Foods that are rich in sugars, fats and which are tasty to eat, enjoyable to eat but lacks nutrients and cause harmful effects on our body are junk foods. So, what will happen if we eat the junk foods? The excess fats gets deposited in our body and we become overweight. Right? We also learnt about obesity and its prevention. What is obesity? Increase in the weight of a person due to excess consumption of fatty and sugary foods is obesity. So how to prevent this obesity? We can prevent it by having a low fat diet and also by doing exercises like fast walking, jogging, swimming, etc. These are the topics what we have learnt in the last class, children. Now today let us learn few other topics from the lesson food and health. Right? Let's start the class. Today from the lesson food and health we shall learn about deficiency diseases. Different deficiency diseases caused in our body due to lack of nutrients and their prevention. Now, let us see the words to learn. Deficiency, night blindness, beriberi, scurvy, infection, swelling, bleeding, rickets, anemia, goiter, bone and tooth decay, kwashiorkor, marasmus. Children, you have learned that our body needs carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals to function properly. You also learned that we should drink lots of water, minimum 3 liters of water per day, and also include the food items that are rich in roughage to stay healthy and fit. Right? Now let us see what happens if we lack nutrients in our body. So, the lack of any of the nutrients affects our health and may lead to disease. So, what is disease, children? We can define disease as the condition of abnormal function of a part of the body or the whole body. Here the word abnormal means which is not normal, where the normal functioning of the body will be affected. Right? So these diseases will be mainly of two types, children. First type will be deficiency diseases, and second type infectious diseases. Now in this lesson you will be learning about deficiency diseases. So what are deficiency diseases? The diseases that are caused in the body due to lack of one or more nutrients in the diet are deficiency diseases. So the word deficiency means less, children, shortage. So the diseases that are caused in our body when we have less amount of any of the nutrients for a long time, then we suffer from deficiency diseases. Usually it will not happen in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, children. If we lack continuously for months together, then only we will be suffering from deficiency diseases. Right? Now let us learn some of the common deficiency diseases caused in our body due to lack of certain nutrients, and also the signs of the disease. Here the word signs means evidence of the disease, and also the sources of the nutrient. So first disease is night blindness. So this night blindness is caused in a person if he lacks vitamin A in his body. And the signs of the disease night blindness is poor vision in dim light. That means a person cannot see properly in dim light. And if we see the sources of vitamin A, foods like milk, fish, fresh leafy vegetables, egg yolk, etc. are rich in vitamin A. Second deficiency disease, beriberi. This beriberi is caused in a person if he lacks vitamin B in his body. If we see the signs of the disease beriberi, the person feels tired and loss of muscle function and speech difficulties, where the person faces difficulty in speaking. And the foods that are rich in vitamin B are cereals, beans, pulses, etc. Third deficiency disease, scurvy. This scurvy is caused in a person if he lacks vitamin C in his body. And the signs of the disease scurvy are swelling, infection and bleeding of gums. Here the word bleeding of gums means blood will be coming out from the gums, children. Okay. And if we see the sources of vitamin C, all citrus family fruits like oranges, lemon, raw mangoes, kiwi, strawberry will be rich in vitamin C. Next deficiency disease is rickets. This rickets is caused in a person who lacks vitamin D in his diet for a long time. And the signs of the disease rickets are the bones become soft and bent. That means the person will have weak bones. And the sources of the nutrient vitamin D are milk, eggs, butter, sunlight, etc. And this vitamin D is called as sunshine vitamin, children, because it can be prepared within our body if we stand in sunlight during the morning hours, especially between morning 7 to 9. So, which vitamin is called as sunshine vitamin? Vitamin D. Why? Because it can be prepared within our body by using the mineral calcium when we expose ourselves to early morning sunlight. Next deficiency disease is anemia. This anemia is caused in a person if his diet lacks iron mineral for a long time. And the signs of the disease anemia are weakness, pale skin, person gets tired very easily, and dark patches can be seen under the eyes. Here weakness means the person feels weak, and pale skin means the color of the skin becomes pale, light. This happens due to less hemoglobin in our blood. Our blood is red in color, right? That is due to the presence of red pigment hemoglobin. This hemoglobin carries oxygen to all parts of the body. So if we have less hemoglobin in our blood, the color of the skin becomes light. We call it as pale skin. And also the person gets tired very easily, and dark patches can be seen under the eyes. And the foods that are rich in iron are egg yolk, means yellow part of the egg, spinach, dates, etc. And the next disease is goiter. This goiter is caused in a person whose diet lacks the mineral iodine for a long time. And the signs of the disease goiter are there will be swelling in the neck part of a person. In the neck region we have a few glands, children. In that, thyroid gland is one of the glands. Gland means a small organ which produces some chemical substances essential for our body functioning. So this thyroid gland also produces a chemical substance called thyroxine, which is essential for functioning of our body. So if we have less iodine in our body, the functioning of thyroid gland will be affected, and we notice a swelling in our neck part. That is nothing but goiter. So how to prevent this goiter? That means the foods that are rich in goiter are iodized salt, means a salt which has iodine in it, and also seafoods like fish, prawns, etc. Next deficiency disease is bone and tooth decay. This disease is caused in a person if his diet lacks calcium for a long time. And the signs of the disease means the evidence of the disease are weak bones, damage to the teeth, means bones will be very weak children, and also the teeth gets damaged. And the food items that are rich in calcium are milk, green leafy vegetables, etc. Next deficiency disease is kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor. Kindly learn the pronunciation with spelling, children. This kwashiorkor is caused in a person whose diet lacks proteins for a long time. And the signs of the disease kwashiorkor are swollen stomach, thin legs, and stunted growth. Here the word swollen stomach means bulged stomach, children. Size of the stomach increases just like a blown balloon. If we blow air into the balloon, how it increases in size, right? Thin legs, where the legs become very thin, and stunted growth. The word stunted means very slow growth, or growth will be totally stopped. And the sources of the nutrient proteins are pulses, eggs, milk, meat, fish, etc. And the last deficiency disease is marasmus. What is it? Marasmus. This marasmus is caused in a person whose diet lacks both proteins and carbohydrates for a long time. And the signs of the disease marasmus are the person will be underweight, means he'll be too thin, children, and loose folds will be seen in the skin. We call it as wrinkled skin, right? And the person will be lean and ribs become prominent, means ribs can be seen under the skin, children. And the sources of the nutrients are a person who is suffering from marasmus should include the foods that are rich in both proteins and carbohydrates like bread, rice, chapati, potato, fish, meat, etc. Here the pictures are given for you, children, so that you can understand better, and also you can differentiate marasmus and kwashiorkor. So here the picture of a child who is suffering from marasmus. You can see here the child is very thin, right? He is underweight, and also loose folds will be seen in the skin. And the child is very thin, that he may not be able to move by himself. And here you can see the ribs, right? You can see the ribs in his chest part. And this is the picture of a child who is suffering from kwashiorkor. You can see here the bulged stomach, right? The size of the stomach has increased, and also the person suffers from stunted growth, where the growth will be stopped or totally reduced. Is it clear? Here you can see the picture of a person who is suffering from goiter, children. I told you goiter is a deficiency disease caused due to less amount of iodine in a person, right? So if a person has less iodine in his diet, his neck part becomes swollen. The neck part becomes increased in size. We call it as enlargement of gland in the neck, increase in the size of gland in the neck. This is goiter, children. So what should we eat to prevent goiter? We should eat the salt which has iodine in it, and also we should eat seafoods like fish, prawns, etc. Next, towards right, you can see the picture of a person who is suffering from rickets. Here you can clearly differentiate, children. These are the legs of a normal person, and the right side are the legs of a person who is suffering from rickets, means where the bones becomes bent and soft. Here ends the topics for the day, children. Hope you understood. And here is the worksheet 3 for you. Kindly understand and try to write the answers for the given questions in worksheet, children. And I would like to remind you regarding the activity which is a part of assessment. You have to write down the food items which you are eating in a day along with the amount of water. Continue it doing, children, and after the completion of this lesson, I'll ask you to send to me where I'm going to award marks for you, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.